Outside ITV is TalkTV's correspondent Holly Hudson. I don't quite know what to say, Holly, but what's the scene? What's the atmosphere like there at ITV?
Well, it's pretty subdued, I've got to be honest, Kevin, at the moment. Of course, this is the much-anticipated, much-delayed review. Dame Carolyn McCall, ITV's chief executive, a few months ago said that she wanted this report to be robust. It was meant to have been released several months ago. As I say, much anticipated. The ITV's handling of the scandal that sort of led to Phillip Schofield's dramatic fall from grace and his exit from this building behind me here and rocked the broadcaster. Now, this is a two-pronged report, really. Looked into two things, Jane Mulcahy, KC, whether ITV had done enough to address rumours about the relationship. Of course, after Phillip Schofield confessed to an affair, admitted to an affair with a much younger male colleague, an affair you may remember at the time he described as unwise but not illegal. Also, secondly, to examine complaints by employees and freelancers working on this morning, whether the company's response was appropriate and adequate. Again, you may remember once Phillip Schofield stepped down from ITV back in May, there were a number of allegations of toxic bullying culture which raised questions for the broadcaster. But this report has found no evidence of a toxic culture and, crucially, says ITV did everything they could to establish the truth about the affair and made considerable efforts to find out about the relationship after The Sun uncovered it in 2019, but was unable to uncover the relevant evidence until Phillip Schofield admitted it back in May. Now, crucially, Jane Mulcahy case, she interviewed 48 ITV staff, except Phillip Schofield and his lover, who's referred to as PX in the report. They both refused to cooperate. Jane Mulcahy was informed that he'd reluctantly declined to take part into the review in the circumstances surrounding his departure because of a risk to his health. Informed his mental health had deteriorated. And you may remember in the exclusive interview that The Sun did with Phillip Schofield around the time, he did say that he had had suicidal thoughts and knew that his career was over. Now, some other key findings of this report, it ruled that Schofield's lover's career was not advanced by the affair. And, as you mentioned there, only one junior member of this morning's staff admitted to knowing about the affair in all of those 48 that were interviewed. And that raised a lot of questions, of course, about the workplace culture and the reporting processes here at ITV, something that they have said they have welcomed and they will look into their reviews and reporting systems. Executives have always insisted that they did enough to investigate reports and rumours about the star, who, of course, repeatedly denied the affair. They said they were badly let down because of Schofield's assurances at the time and claimed they were misled by both men. And we know that Phillip Schofield did admit to lying to about that affair to ITV, to his colleagues, to his friends, to his agent, and Holly Willoughby, who it's believed complied with this investigation. At the time, she said she felt blindsided and upset, and of course she has now since as well quit the show. The face of This Morning has completely changed since all of this first emerged back in May. And the question now is, of course, will Phillip Schofield respond to this report? What happens now for him? As he said back in May, he believes his career was over and he's been silent, of course, on social media. We haven't heard much from him at all, despite a few appearances, spotted a handful of times. So whether we're likely to hear from him in response to this report remains to be seen.
Yeah, I think there's a bingo hall somewhere in a northern seaside town waiting for him. Thank you ever so much, Holly.